Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got some great news for you. By the way, XRP is green as all get out the last 7 days, and at least half of that in the last 24 hours. XRP is leading the market. And what about a $15 XRP inside of 30 seconds? Well, one gentleman today is going to give you exactly a path that he believes that can happen. Somebody roll that beautiful intro. We got a lot to get into today.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove, and everything that we're talking about here today. 1.989, 1989. The year I graduated high school. Come on in. Yeah, we're up 5.71 on the market, ladies and gentlemen. It's February 7th, 2022. Bitcoin now at 43,000 plus, Ethereum 3,100 plus. We see Cardano coming in at $1.20 right now. Solana's $120 and change. XRP is 77 cents. Look at this. 16.58 on the 24 hour. And we're 29.21 on the 7-day. I mean, that is remarkable right there. Remarkable. And 77 cents strong. I tell you what, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And what is it coming from? Why is the price going up? We're going to take a look at the idea what could that be as we move through the news today. Right now we see the range of prices 0.6657 and 0.7812 on top. My gosh, that thing is ranging today more than we usually see. Numbers are brought to you by PureVPN. Very quickly, ladies and gentlemen. It is really, really important to protect yourself online. There are a lot of scams. People trying to act like they are your crypto exchange that you use, or they're trying to contact you and act like they're your bank or your credit card company. You know, one of the things you can do is you can leave no digital trace of your identity online by using PureVPN, one of the many different layers of protection I use. And if you do so right now, you get 88% off for a 5-year deal. $1.33 a month. What are we talking about here? I pay for the peace of mind. That's what I do. And you can find it, by the way, under this. Every video is all my links right here at the top, comment section or the description box. Check them out and all the specials and deals. Let's get into it. Why is XRP price going up? Is this just a flash in the pan, which we've seen before? Or did market makers read the same Q4 report from 2021 that we did and realize not only has Ripple stopped selling XRP to the exchanges, but they bought back over $321 million worth? Meaning there is less available today than there was before they did that in Q4. You know, at some point you have to wonder if we are witnessing, and we don't know if it's now, but at some point I do believe we will witness something that is called the flywheel effect, where you will see the market makers realize that potentially, if it's this moment or a later moment, will be on us, where they realize that the price of XRP, which will probably be either right before we get clarity or just after we get clarity for the asset and the space, financial institutions and market makers will realize that this asset really is what it says it is, and it really has the clarity now, so there's no objection for us using it. And I think you would see the flywheel effect happen, where the market makers come in and say, well, because we use this every day for remittances and cross-border and banks alike, it's in our best interest to buy as much today as we can, because it will not and probably won't be the same price tomorrow. Is that moment today? I don't know. But we'll get into some other information before we get out of here today. I'll tell you that, because XRP is leading the pack as far as gains in the top crypto tokens in the space. And how remarkable is that fact when you think about the fact that we are also being sued by the SEC? Flare CEO updates XRP holders on massive upcoming Spark token airdrop, and that a full roadmap to Flare launch will be released in the coming weeks. You know, I have to say, I do agree with this right here, this gentleman down here, XRP Murat, who says Flare looks like ETH 2.0 for me, just a disappointment. Now, I do believe ultimately Flare will be successful, but the rollout and the launch on this thing has been a fumbleina, fumbleia, fumblerooski. Let's hope that by the time it is actually launched and fully operational, all of that will be behind them and us. Looking right here, we see North Korea missile program funded through stolen crypto, the UN report says. Digital Asset Investor shares this and says, at what point is the SEC going to become concerned about who the disguised whales were in the initial coin offering by Ethereum and Joseph Lubin was talking about? I think this is an excellent point he's making here, because truthfully, one has to wonder, why has there not been a public audit done on Ethereum's initial coin offering? And could there have been some bad actor countries, as well as just bad actor investors, involved? Maybe this is what they meant at the White House when they referred to crypto's executive order that's coming soon as a national security matter. We will see. 87 central banks are now exploring introduction of digital currencies, ladies and gentlemen. There's around 150 or so central banks. So that is a good portion. And obviously, if they want to participate in the new digital system that is coming, they better get moving. That's all you can say about that. And here's one that's gotten moving, and it's been hard to watch, but if they could do it, we could do it, right? The Reserve Bank of India's digital rupee will run on a government-mandated electronic wallet that will allow central bank to be the middleman between merchants and customers. What's interesting about this is, I mean, certainly I don't know exactly the details here, but I know here in the United States, I do not personally myself want to see direct wallets connected to the Federal Reserve so you can wake up one morning and find out they put in negative interest rates. And if you had, $100 in the bank and they do a 3% negative interest rate, you'll have $97 the next morning. And they'll be able to see every bit of your digital dollar transactions, which I don't think is copacetic either. But here is where it continues, ladies and gentlemen. We know El Salvador has made Bitcoin legal tender in their country, but it is still a problem for the IMF, and they are being mocked now by El Salvador. And I tell you, I agree with Utility, obviously, down here, who says, this story is not going to end well. I am inclined to agree with Utility, obviously, because I tell you, the IMF, although they are not, a legislative body, they have an enormous amount of countries that they are involved with and world leaders. If they want something done about this, I have a sneaky suspicion something will get done about it. And to add to the problems of Bitcoin and proof of work, writing is on the wall, says Kevin O'Leary. Bitcoin mining companies that think they can fool investors by buying carbon credits to cover up their dirty, carbon belching ways, they will never survive a carbon audit. Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. Listen, carbon credits are really, I'm going to basically pay a fine ahead of being fined so I can continue to pollute or cause waste, right? Excess waste. And that is a real problem. And I tell you, this is why Chris Larson had urged many, many months ago for Bitcoin and all of its miners to graduate to proof of stake to have a chance of survival. The renewable energy is nice. The hydro, the solar, the wind, all of it. That is great. And I love the idea of these things. But I tell you, it's not sustainable when you're talking about having something that is supposed to be the digital gold for the world. Why not just graduate to proof of stake and get past it, right? Anyway, looking here, we see more and more rumblings in Congress here. Senator Pat Toomey, who is a top member of the Senate Banking Committee, which is very, very important to crypto, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, has said China's digital yuan could open a door for U.S. and to get more heavily into the crypto space. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I do want to highlight this because it is important. He has raised a letter and raised the topics to a letter to the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen and Anthony Blinken on Friday, and says basically, potentially to subvert U.S. sanctions, facilities, illicit monies, and enhance China's surveillance capabilities, provide Beijing with first mover advantages, such as setting standards in the cross-border digital payments. That is what's going on with China's electronic digital yuan. China has been testing digital currencies at its Winter Olympics in Beijing. An Olympic Village, athletes and visitors are able to make purchases with cash, a Visa card, or their digital yuan, according to Toomey. This really puts increasing pressure for America to get the clarity for this emerging asset class. No doubt about it. And we see another bill has been introduced here, but what will get passed at some point is the question here. But several U.S. lawmakers have introduced the Virtual Currency Tax Fairness Act to strengthen the legitimacy, of cryptocurrency in our digital economy. The bill also aims to expand the use of cryptocurrency for payments. This is the bill that was submitted that basically says nothing would be taxed in the manner that stocks or bonds would. A Virtual Currency Tax Fairness Act would exempt personal transactions made with virtual currency when gains are $200 or less. So, if you're using cryptocurrency to buy cups of coffee or pay for lunch or that kind of thing, and you experience a small amount of gains with your $70 worth of crypto, if it's under $200 worth of gains, you would not be taxed, right? That's the kind of thing we're looking at here. Now, I don't know that this is a perfect solution. We'll have to see how this shakes out in all of this, but we do know that something has to be done when it comes to taxes. And I think the broader approach here is to get Congress to actually quit submitting bills and actually pass one into law, and pass one that won't stifle innovation, so we can really become the leader of the fourth industrial revolution here, as we were in the days of the internet. Look, it's not just about waving a flag and saying we're number one. It's much bigger than that. It's about understanding the fourth industrial revolution is exactly that. We got to get people schooled up, educated, and trained so they can have jobs to move into, because we don't have the steel mills anymore. We don't have the fabrication plants anymore, right? That's what the Industrial Revolution was. This revolution is a digital revolution. And one of the things I think we could all serve ourselves in doing in life is getting in front of growth. Looking right here, it looks like somebody's getting in front of this, and I'll tell you who it is. It's not Judge Netburn anymore, it's Judge Torres. And lawmakers make a positive turn from Judge Torres taking over. That's the legal analysis that we're getting from John Deaton and attorney Jeremy Hogan now. And shout out to both of them. It's a great article from ProCoin News. I'm not going to read it to you, but I do suggest you go read it. It is a fantastic article. And I know I got 1 million pages open, so you probably can't see it. There it is right there. But I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but I'm going to sum it up right here and tell you that Ripple's lawsuit, most believe, will end ultimately favorably for Ripple and XRP. When it does end, XRP will essentially be the only crypto asset with regulatory clarity in the United States. And we have been saying that for a long time. We could, in fact, leapfrog to the front of the line when it comes to crypto assets, because we're the case of the century here, right? I don't want to say it. I wanted to say it. I didn't say it. You can't say it. I said it because I didn't say it. But I wanted to say it. But we're the case of the century here. And I tell you, if we get the clarity that we really deserve to get here from the case, we will be the most compliant digital asset on planet Earth. Where do you think the institutions, the hedge funds, and the financial entities around the world will put their money when it comes to digital innovation at that point? I think I could figure it out for myself, and I think you can too. By the way, remember this. This is a nice reminder. Remember when JP Morgan said Ripple had been working with banks to help them build financial infrastructure to make cross-border payments? The expansive network of Ripple's partners may be waiting for the lawsuit to end in order to use XRP without regulatory issues from the SEC. Well, listen, we know around the world doesn't need the SEC's approval. but for some strange reason, they haven't started using it to a great degree. We do know, to the credit, RippleNet, 25% of the volume of transactions are in fact being settled with XRP, because at this current price, that's what it's able to handle without hitting a dry pocket in liquidity, apparently, right? So it gets interesting. So you imagine us having clarity, what may take place then. We know Credible Crypto feels the same way and says that once this case is over, and if we get the clarity we need, he expects XRP to explode as well. This is Zach Rector, and this is Patrick Riley from the Reaper Project, Reaper Token. Shout out to Patrick. We're going to have a sit down with Patrick very soon. He is a very interesting man. He's got a lot of great insights about this space. And then this gentleman I don't know, I believe his name is Steve here. He's about to give you his impression of what the market for XRP could look like the moment we get clarity around from the SEC, and how that impact around the world could be felt or heard. Take a listen here.
Even you said 4 digits is your potential target over the next 5 to 10 years. Patrick, we've talked about 4 and 5 digits as well. How bumpy of a ride is it going to be on the way up?
I think the initial, Ripple Labs is cleared. Everything's good to go. We're all honky-dory again. 30-second, maybe a minute, $15 XRP. The instant FOMO. And then you've got, all these US-based companies that are like, hey, we can finally dip our toe in. We don't have to worry about, whether we're going to lose our pants on this, because it might be a security. It might not. We might be able to keep it. We might get sued for it. I think it'll be instant, probably at least $15. Maybe over a week we run up to 100, maybe $200, and then there'll probably be some big retracement. And then I think the rest of it's kind of up to Ripple itself, partnerships, adding to that on-demand liquidity, and all these other countries that want to come in and have them make a, Ripple help with a CBDC or whatever it is. And then, we go back to maybe, like I said, a 4 or 5 year period to reach $5,000. But, it depends. Do the exchanges have to buy up XRP to start selling it again? Does Coinbase have a bag set aside already? Or are they going to pick up another 200 million XRP? I think things could go anywhere, but I expect at least an instant, probably $10-15 XRP within minutes.
And there you have it. I mean, I tell you, when I think about this, some would say, oh, that's hypey or whatever. You know what? Is it? If we get the clarity from this case, let's just assume it's from this case, that we're all clear. Because let's remember something very important here that I didn't hear mentioned in here that is a key point to support what's being said here. There's no criminal charges in this case. This case is a civil matter about being fined over something. Think of that for a moment. There are no criminal accusations made here. There are no criminal charges filed here. Department of Justice is not involved in this. So whatever this is really about the classification and about the civil fine to be paid over the issue, should there be one. Now imagine getting that clarity and then XRP absolutely exploding in the manner because of the flywheel effect that we talked about just a few moments earlier in the show. I could certainly see something like that happen. It doesn't mean it has to, but I could certainly see a scenario like that taking place if we truly get the clarity, because XRP would be at that point the most clarified, compliant digital asset on Earth. Imagine that. Now, here's something we got to give credit to. It's this guy right here. Dark Defender. Microstructure towards 75 cents. And where are we at today, ladies and gentlemen? I'll tell you where we are. 77. Well, that's not bad. That's not bad work at all. Because I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure that this is really off of the work that he did from all the way back in March. This guy uses the Elliott wave theory and many other charting tools, and we know CoinsKid is amazing too. And everybody else that we use and reference on this channel, and forgive me if I've not mentioned your name, but you know who you are. But this is where we are on this day. Is this that moment? We don't know. And without clarity, I'd say not yet. But I wouldn't chase it away if it was. That's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Check out all the links in the description and comment section. They're products and services I use each and every day. They are trusted, vetted links. Be very careful what you click on out here. And there's great specials and deals too on all of these things, but you got to click the links. I'll catch you on the next one.